knocked forward by Adams. Platt, and David Platt drives on. Benedettini knocks it away and not towards Ferdinand, sadly for England. The clearance completed by Muccioli, but there was cover on the line. On from Barnes. David Platt climbing from the flick on, and England felt a set piece might pave the way, and this is how it happened. John Barnes with a flick, and Platt came through and forced it in at the far post. 1-0 after 13 minutes.
Just what we wanted. Excellent cross, great flick on, and there's David Platt at the far post.
Batty can open it out through Dixon. Got in a lot of crosses in the Turkey game. Batty. Platt going in. The linesman flags. It's another one for David Platt. Benedettini is left with an inquest on his own line. Batty hung it up, and Platt beating Ferdinand. Now, was it over? Well,
I just thought David Batty was going to shoot there, but he floats it perfectly to the far post. David Platt's pulled away beautifully and just comes in, pushes Les Ferdinand out the way to claim his second goal after a cartilage operation. And in the first half an hour, he's got 2 goals for England. I don't know, it looks a bit...
Bugs. Helped on by Gascoigne, or helped up really, for he goes in again himself. The flag is up, it doesn't count. It isn't a hat-trick, not yet for Platt. He certainly wouldn't bet against it happening, as Gascoigne played the ball a second time. But we'll have another look at this goal, maybe in inverted commas. I'm not sure that that proves conclusively that the whole of the ball had crossed the line. England have set up their own mini wall. Dorigo dummies, Gascoigne takes! And from this side you had to look at Benedettini to see exactly how close it was. He was glancing up very worried indeed. He was beaten, but then so was the post by a whisker. Which is to be taken again by Gascoigne. Dorigo on the half volley.
Just wouldn't sit down for him, would it?
And Tony Adams fighting here to try and get his head to the ball, was it? Well, he was blocked actually off the ball before Dorigo came in. Could have got 2 against 1 on Lee Dixon. Instead, Dixon delivers the ball for Platt. He's held up by Canty. Batty has had a good game. Oh, and Ferdinand so close. But that was more like it for England. They did have some space in which to manoeuvre the ball, and they used it well.
Yeah, superb pass from the midfield. Not a long ball, but a long pass.
Dorigo, back for Gascoigne, who's onside. Ferdinand, well saved. Down by the post, Benedettini. Les Ferdinand getting closer and closer. Quick free kick from Gascoigne. Dorigo, Platt and Ferdinand at the sharp end again. As the cross comes in, Ferdinand. Oh, Platt missed it. From right on the line, Batty tried the overhead kick. It was Dixon rather, not Batty.
And put a superb cross in. Les Ferdinand does everything right. He heads it back across the face of the goal. And how it eludes David Platt, we'll never know.
The natives are starting to get a bit restless. Ferdinand, Platt is round the goalkeeper. David Platt has a hat-trick. The player who was 6 weeks old when England won the World Cup in 1966 has scored 3 times in a World Cup tie here on his first occasion as England captain, and you can't write much better fairy tales than this one on a personal note for David Platt.
Yeah, wonderful finish, excellent leap there by Les Ferdinand to get the flick on. Originally thought it might be a free kick, just impeding the defender there, but he showed nimble feet there just to touch it round the keeper and finish. He's not missing from there.
Barnes again against this extraordinary backdrop to suggest that the supporters are losing patience with a player who served England for some 10 years. Here's Gascoigne, underside of the bar, awkward for Ferdinand. Gascoigne wrapping his shot against the underside of the bar, and it could have fallen for Ferdinand, but it didn't. There's absolutely no doubt that that didn't cross the line.
Yeah, that's desperate. He hits this with venom, smashes off the crossbar.
Dorigo has done so much attacking work. Now can Barnes get into this one? He does, and Benedettini hasn't prevented the corner.
That was a great save, full stretch from that header. Last delivery, if we could just get that right, we could easily put another 3 on top of this tally.
Adams. Palmer, and the goalkeeper's done his job again. Pierluigi Benedettini.
This must be the game of his life.
Well, he gets plenty of practice, John. Every game he plays in, he's like a coconut in the shy. Bonini in trouble. Here comes Ferdinand. Platt coming into the centre. Palmer! Carlton Palmer not hardly bothering to celebrate, wanting to get back and get the game restarted. Platt picked the ball out of the net. He's plonked it back on the centre spot here. 4-0 and on we go. And the pick of the bunch so far.
Yeah, excellent run by Les Ferdinand. Really goes for the bar line with pace and power. Excellent cross in there and makes Carlton Palmer's life easy with that diving header. Brilliant goal.
It's Palmer's first for England.
Just to put the ball in there, but he decided to try and take the defender on, and in the end we lost the attack.
Adams just gone too wide. He can hook it back. It'll come for Dixon, will it? Platt has 4.
I think that the San Marino defenders there querying whether Tony Adams was still in play. He was standing just on the goal line. If you watch back in the shot, Tony Adams does brilliantly here. The ball just runs too wide, unfortunately. He turns and puts the ball back in there. I think it's Lee Dixon who hammers it back in, and there's David Platt.
And played a major part in England's 5th goal. It's too long for Ferdinand. England regroup in the centre. Adams, underside of the bar. Ferdinand's goal. And it's 6. And the strong finish that England were hoping for is coming now. Tony Adams climbing so well. Down and, well, it might have even been over.
I think it was definitely over the line of the first goal, but I think try and argue with Les Ferdinand about that. This is the time we hope San Marino would get tired, would get a bit jaded and disillusioned, and it's worked right, and I think we should keep pressing now, because this is time we could even nick another couple.
Here's Dorigo. Now Batty. Down goes Dorigo, and the referee has ruled against Manzaroli. It gets better and better for England. And who's going to take the penalty? David Platt is the captain.
I don't think we need to take too many guesses. Who's going to take this? David Platt is in fact the regular penalty taker for England. And I think Malcolm McDonald's record is going to be equal tonight.
Howard Borton in 1882, Steve Bloomer in 1896, Willie Hall in 1938, Malcolm McDonald in 1975. Players who have scored 5 goals in a game for England. Within a few seconds, they may be joined by the name of David Platt, whose personal performance tonight has been monumental. It's Platt's historic penalty. Oh no! Benedettini saves. Platt's in there again and he's offside. And first and foremost, I'm sure the captain will be thinking for the goal difference of the team rather than for his own personal moment. But this agile goalkeeper has saved a penalty from Platt, and it stays at 6. The 2 points taken for granted, the only question concerned the margin of victory, and David Platt went out a man with a mission here, and although he finishes without a smile on his face, it's only because he's got 4 and not 5, and the penalty miss at the moment still preying on his mind. But an exceptional performance, and when you consider he was captain tonight for the first time, one that will live long, long in the record books.